Okay. We are the Futuristic group. My name is Kate Chrisman from Cedar Bluffs. I will just kind of start us off here. This presentation, primarily kind of our core audience, we felt like would be administrators or other educators to help them understand how they can empower stakeholders. So this is a strategy for developing ownership and cultural shifts in school districts. For our introduction, we will explore the importance of stakeholder engagement in creating a culture of ownership and shifting the mindset of school districts. Again, just kind of reviewing who stakeholders are and how we can help create a culture of ownership in our districts. Are we still there? I'm not sure if we're having technical difficulties. If oh. I'm gonna Okay, we are back here past our difficulties. Starting off defining stakeholders. Stakeholders are individuals or groups who have an interest in the success of the school district. Stakeholders can include parents, even students, obviously teachers, administrators. Sometimes some stakeholders that don't get included would be community members that may not have a direct contact at the school, but are still in your community, and then as well as local businesses who can be really great groups to have an interest in the success of the school district. So thinking about these stakeholders, these groups and people, individuals, it's important that they kind of have a ownership in the school. And here's some ways that we can create that culture.
All right, so my name is Denton Beacom, and I'm the elementary principal in Randolph, and I had benefits of stakeholder engagement. So first of all, this leads to increased buy-in. It's hard to improve anything if you don't have everyone on board. Also improved decision making, more diverse ideas, the more stakeholders you're able to involve. Also student success. Typically, our student success is going to go up the more engaged we are. And then positive relationships. We know as educators through positive engagement, usually climate and culture can improve as well. Engaging stakeholders can also lead to increased trust and accountability. With that, again, leads to more engagement. And then along with similar, that transparency and communication piece. Ultimately, our goal is with engagement, it's not about an individual, but we want ownership amongst all stakeholders. And in order to do that, you need to get everybody involved and engaged.
All right, I'm Josh Lynch from Utah. I'm going to be talking about how to engage with those stakeholders and ways we can do that. Some of the effective strategies to engage these stakeholders would be creating opportunities for two-way communication. That can be just being out in the community, being at school events, engage with them, talking with them, having that conversation, going back and forth. So that way they can get a point of view from the school. You can understand their point of view as stakeholders. Just kind of open up those communication lines and learn from each other that way. Another way is providing regular updates on district initiatives. I think a great way to do that is at your monthly board meetings, where you can kind of give updates to the district, what's going on, what your projects you're working on, and things like that. It makes it very regular and scheduled, and everybody should be able to expect those things. And also involving those stakeholders in the decision-making process. Obviously, you're not going to be able to involve them in everything or understand, take their views on everything, but just getting their involvement, hearing their voice, again, make sure they're being heard on certain things, getting their points of views and things like that. So that way they are can create some of that ownership in there as well when decisions are being made. And then it's also important to recognize and value those stakeholders that do make contributions, and the positive impact that they do have on your school and community as a whole.
So as a part of engaging our stakeholders, we need to talk about what do we mean by a culture shift? And culture shifts is that's a big and broad topic across many areas of education, but we need to specifically think about our stakeholders as well as how does this affect our school improvement planning. And so what we're trying to do is change the culture in a positive way with an emphasis on improving student learning and the practices that support it, and doing this by moving from compliance only to viewing school improvement planning as continuous and as an opportunity. And so through some of our research, we were able to find some of the tenants from the Center for School Turnaround, which is a division of the U.S. Department of Labor. So you can see, the U.S. Department of Education. So you can see this graphic here, the 4 domains of rapid school improvement, which is what everyone is looking for, is clearly overlapping. And one of the key areas is that shift in culture. Culture shift requires changes in mindsets, norms, attitudes, and is as difficult and uncertain as it is essential. But the key there is, as we can see with that overlapping graphic and those circles, is that everything is cyclical, nothing ends. And so it's really important in this area that our culture shift gets us moving from compliance to viewing the process as an opportunity and that it's ongoing. And so in our next slide, the 3 key aspects of school culture shifts in education are to build a strong community intensely focused on student learning. Number 2, to solicit and act upon stakeholder input. And 3, to engage students and families in pursuing education goals. And like any attempt to change people's behavior, shifting culture requires an understanding of what motivates behavior and what facilitates that change. So again, it's that ongoing process that we view stakeholders as an integral part of as we work through our school improvement planning.
I'm Luke Hoffman, the 7-12 principal at Pender. Next slide is creating a culture of ownership. First bullet there is requires a shift in mindset from a top-down approach to a collaborative approach. With everything that goes on in a school district, not one group of people can make it run at its finest. By orchestrating everything, you have to rely on your people. You have to change the mindset of the teachers or the stakeholders that whatever the admin says or whatever the admin team thinks goes, and that's just the way it'll be. Bullet 2, set a clear vision, mission statement. It's a simple statement, but sometimes overlooked, that everyone has to be on the same page of where we're going and what we want to accomplish. Bullet 3, values contributions of all stakeholders. We talked about all stakeholders, but parent and community involvement. We have to engage the parents, community, and school activities. Maybe try to empower students, give students opportunities to take leadership roles and responsibilities to where they can voice their ideas. Even school leaders should lead by example, demonstrate a strong work ethic and what you're trying to accomplish and commitment to your school's mission. And then another thing here is just, I feel like celebrating achievements is huge, to recognize and celebrate the achievements of your students and staff. Acknowledging their hard work and dedication can boost morale and then motivate as well. Finally, 4th bullet requires ongoing communication, transparency, and a willingness to listen and learn from all stakeholders. We just hope that everyone takes ownership and pride in the school district as a whole. We don't get in a situation where anyone says, that's not my job, and instead steps up when needed because they're invested, care about the success, and care about the students in your district.
I'm Zach Barrett. I'm the 7-12 principal at Twin River Public Schools. Just going to wrap this up for everybody. Basically, in conclusion, you have your various different stakeholders, and empowering them is important to create, like they've said, everybody's mentioned the culture of ownership and shifting the mindset of the school district. As it says at the end there, ultimately the goal is increasing the outcomes for our students, improvement of our students in test scores, graduation rates, attendance, all of the different assets that or aspects that we're trying to improve upon in a school improvement process. And one of the best ways to do that is by getting everyone, all of the different various stakeholders involved in that decision-making process, communicating back and forth, getting a collective direction that everyone is going. That way you don't have anybody pulling against you, so that your district can move forward and improve with the school improvement process as best as possible.